Hi there, I'm Tiffany Williams from the Ghana Revenue Authority. This week, we'll introduce software tools that allow employers to generate completed employee emolument slips. We'll illustrate the tax calculations process when asserting chargeable income for the year of assessment 2022, and a tax specialist will be joining us to remind taxpayers about the relevant documents to be attached to the income tax return when submitting. Focus on GRA begins now. Welcome to Focus on GRA, a program of information for taxpayer education. The GRA is encouraging employers to distribute emolument or 7B slips to their employees at the earliest possible time. To support the process, the authority had developed software tools that can generate emolument slips with the necessary information prepared in advance. We will tell you where to find those software tools and how to utilize them.
All employers have a legal obligation to provide each employee who would have worked with them wholly or partly during 2021 with an emolument slip, or a 7B slip as it is commonly called. The 7B slip is an important document which enables employees to file their income tax returns on or before the April 30 filing deadline. 3 years ago, the GRA developed a bulk generator app to assist employers in filling out emolument slips for their employees. Communications Officer Nikisha Castello explains more.
We basically used it to generate the figures which they would have given us from their Form 2 returns, which is due every year, February 28th. So it will show each employee's taxable allowances, non-taxable allowances, their gross amount, their net income, NAS contributions, and so on. So that information now is basically generated in a bulk generation app that we have created. And employers, all they have to do is upload their Form 2s into the app, and it will generate the 7B slips for their employees.
Employers are advised to complete the distribution of 7B slips by February 28, 2022, in keeping with Regulation 11 of the Income Tax Deduction of Tax from Emoluments Regulation.
The bulk generation app can be found on GRA's website, of course, gra.gov.gy. You can simply type in bulk generation to be able to see all the apps and different software that you'll need to download, as well as a user manual.
Employees, meanwhile, are reminded to ensure they collect their 7B slips early from their employer to avoid incurring penalty and interest from late filing of their income tax returns.
We're urging all employees to go to e-services to file their returns online. And we also have a new individual income tax return. Employees who wish to submit their returns physically, they'll have to download that form from our website and fill it out manually.
Employees and employers are encouraged to pay attention to the information that should be on the 7B slip.
They should ensure when they collect the 7B slip, they should ensure that their name is spelled correctly, their TIN, the correct TIN is there, the correct national identification number is there. For the 7B slip, the company should ensure that the name of the company is there, the address, and even the telephone number. The 7B slip must be stamped and signed, and it must also state the period in which that employee worked. That basically means if the employee worked all year last year, January to December, it must state that. If the employee only worked from March to July, you have to state that on the 7B slip.
While the 7B slip is a necessary document for the filing of income tax returns, it is also a necessary document for mortgage interest relief beneficiaries and persons who may need to apply for a liability certificate.
Have you ever wondered how your taxes are calculated? Well, get a pen and a paper as Fabian Klaus breaks down the calculation process for income earned in the year of income 2021, year of assessment 2022.
Meet taxpayer A, an employee who earned gross income of 3 million Ghana dollars last year. Taxpayer A wants to do his own calculations to determine how much tax was deducted by his employer and remitted to the Ghana Revenue Authority in 2021. Taxpayer A must therefore ascertain the chargeable portion of his income to determine the rate of tax that should apply. In ascertaining his chargeable income, he is required to do the following. From his gross income of $3 million, deduct statutory allowance or free pay of 1/3. Note that the statutory deduction must be $780,000 or 1/3 of gross, whichever is greater. Therefore, 1/3 of $3 million is equal to $1 million. He is also required to less his NIS contributions, assuming that his total NIS contribution for 2021 was $130,000. In 2021, taxpayer A was approved for a mortgage from an approved lending institution. The interest is $500,000. This amount should also be less from his gross. Therefore, the total amount deducted from taxpayer A's gross income is $1,630,000. The remaining amount of $1,370,000 is known as the chargeable income or taxable income. In accordance with Section 36 of the Income Tax Act, the tax upon the chargeable income of every person shall be at a rate of 28% of the chargeable income of every person less than $1,560,000. Therefore, since the chargeable income of taxpayer A for the year of income 2021 is $1,370,000, 28% of that amount is equal to $383,600. The total tax payable for taxpayer A for the year of income 2021 is therefore $383,600. If taxpayer A's chargeable income for 2021 was greater than $1,560,000, the rate of 40% would apply on any amount above $1,560,000. Example: if taxpayer A's chargeable income for 2021 was $1,570,000, the first $1,560,000 of that amount would be taxed at 28%, and the balance of $10,000 would be taxed at 40%, bringing the total tax payable to $437,200. If taxpayer A is self-employed, his personal NIS contributions would not be allowed as a deduction when ascertaining chargeable income. However, he is allowed to claim all expenses incurred during the course of the business in 2021. These expenses are listed in Section 16 of the Income Tax Act, Chapter 8101, and must be wholly and exclusively in relation to the business. He is also allowed his statutory deduction of 1/3 of gross profits and gross interest on the mortgage.
When we return from this break, we'll have a tax specialist answer your questions.
My name is Dindyal Saw, and I'm a tax consultant, stroke accountant. I'm encouraging all professionals, all, be you an accountant, a doctor, or an attorney, who are self-employed. I would like to take this opportunity to encourage you to ensure that all your taxes owing are paid up to date, or if not, arrangements are made with the GRA to have it paid, and that will enable you to obtain your practice certificate.
Welcome back. Tax specialist Rhonda Griffith explains all the documents you must ensure you attach before filing your income tax return.
This is your Questions in Focus. Today, joining me is Ms. Rhonda Griffith, who will be answering questions in relation to the individual tax return. Ms. Griffith, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards.
Our first question is from Mr. Backus, and he would like to know what are the documents that must be submitted along with the income tax return.
An employee must submit their 7B or emolument slip, that's the original part, with their return, since it is mandated by law for them to do so. For a self-employed person, an income and expenditure statement or a profit and loss account and a balance sheet and any other additional schedule such as wear and tear and loss relief. Also, persons who are MIR recipients must also submit their Form 4 from their lending institution.
Mr. Singh is also inquiring, why is it important to have your 7B or emolument slip stamped and signed?
It is important to have the 7B stamped and signed, which proves authenticity and provides identification of the organization that made the deduction and to whom the taxes were deducted from.
Thank you so much, Ms. Griffith. For more information, do contact us on the telephone numbers that are listed at the end of the program.
And that is all for this week's Focus on GRA. Remember, you have until April 30th to file your income, property, corporation, and capital gains tax returns. You can send us your inquiries via email grapublicrelations@gmail.com. Our website is gra.gov.gy. Don't forget, you can follow us on our social media pages for up-to-date tax-related information. Thank you for watching. I'm Tiffany Rodius. Stay safe, everyone.